Ladies and gentlemen, life will sometimes hand you people who don't wish you well. People who will try to break your spirit, dim your light, or make you question your own worth. And when that happens, and trust me, it will, you will face a choice. You can carry the hurt like a stone in your heart, heavy and cold, or you can use that stone to build a foundation for a life so beautiful, so bold, so extraordinary that it speaks for itself. There is a point in life when you realize that holding on to hatred is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. It's a realization that doesn't come easily, and it doesn't come overnight. It comes after the sleepless nights, after the endless questioning of why people you trusted could betray you, why they could wound you so carelessly. It comes after you spend precious energy replaying conversations, rewriting endings that will never change. And then one day you wake up and you are simply tired. Tired of carrying the weight of other people's darkness inside your own heart. Healing over hatred is a choice, a hard choice, a brave choice. It's standing at a crossroads and choosing your own peace over the constant replay of your pain. It's understanding that people's cruelty is a reflection of them, not of you. It's realizing that the longer you allow bitterness to stay, the deeper it carves itself into your spirit until the original hurt becomes almost unrecognizable under layers of anger and resentment. And when you choose healing instead, you choose to no longer let the people who hurt you rent space in your heart. You begin the painful, beautiful process of reclaiming your energy, your joy, your future. Choosing healing does not mean you excuse what they did. It does not mean you invite them back into your life. It does not mean you have to pretend it didn't hurt. Healing is not pretending. Healing is telling yourself the truth about what happened, and then choosing not to let that truth define your life moving forward. Healing is acknowledging the wound, tending to it carefully, and refusing to let it become infected with hate. Because hatred, no matter how justified it feels at first, will eventually turn inward. It eats away at the soul. It hardens you in places that were once soft and hopeful. And you deserve more than that. You deserve softness. You deserve hope. There is such power in saying, I will not carry this with me anymore. Power in stepping into the light, even while the shadows of your past still reach out for you. Power in choosing to bless your future instead of cursing your past. Some people will never apologize. Some people will never change. Some people will move on with their lives oblivious to the damage they left behind. But your healing is not dependent on their remorse. It never was. It belongs to you. It has always belonged to you. In a world that often glorifies revenge, rage, and retaliation, choosing healing is an act of rebellion. It's radical self-love. It's the refusal to let broken people make you break yourself. You rise, not to spite them, but because your soul was never meant to stay stuck in pain. You find joy again, not because they deserve to see you happy, but because you deserve happiness. You find peace, not because it erases the hurt, but because it gives your heart a place to rest. There will be moments when the old anger flickers back to life. That's okay. Healing is not a straight line. But every time you choose love over hate, growth over bitterness, forgiveness over fury, you reclaim a little more of yourself. You gather up the broken pieces and build something stronger, something wiser, something infinitely more beautiful than what came before. And one day, without even noticing when exactly it happened, you will realize that you are no longer defined by what it did to you, you will realize that your life is richer, deeper, more luminous than anything their cruelty could ever touch. You will realize that the best thing you ever did was not seek revenge, not prove them wrong, not even make them sorry. The best thing you ever did was heal. And in doing so, you became unstoppable. When people hurt you, betray you, underestimate you, or speak your name with anything less than respect, it can feel natural to want to answer back with words, with anger, with loud declarations of your worth. But the truth is, the most powerful answer you will ever give is not in arguments, not in fights, not even in your defense. The truest, most undeniable response to anyone who has tried to diminish you is your success. Not just success in the way the world measures it, though there's a certain poetry in living a life so good it needs no explanation, but success in the deepest sense. A success in healing, success in growth, success in joy, success in building a life you love, a life that feels like freedom. There is something profoundly unstoppable about a person who refuses to be held hostage by their past, who refuses to be reduced by other people's cruelty. When you shift your focus from proving others wrong to simply building your own right life, something powerful begins to happen. You stop looking over your shoulder. You stop replaying old conversations in your mind. You stop watering the seeds of resentment and instead pour your energy into your dreams, your healing, your becoming. And slowly, without even needing to announce it, your success starts to speak volumes where your words never could. Success is the quiet, dignified answer. It is the life that blooms when you choose yourself over bitterness. When you achieve the things they said you couldn't. When you step into the spaces they tried to block you from. When you rise into opportunities that once felt so far away, that is your true response. Every new level you reach, every boundary you break, every dream you realize, you are writing your own story, one that has nothing to do with their opinions or their limitations. What they did to you, what they said about you loses its power when you are living proof that they were wrong. Not because you shouted it from the rooftops, not because you spent your energy trying to convince them, but because your life itself becomes a testimony. You become a living, breathing answer to every doubt, every insult, every betrayal. And the beautiful thing is, by the time you get there, you won't even be thinking about them anymore. You'll be too busy living your destiny. Success does not always roar. Sometimes success is the quiet joy of waking up at peace with yourself. Sometimes it's the satisfaction of creating a life filled with love, passion, purpose, and resilience. Sometimes it's the laughter that bubbles up easily again after years of sorrow. Sometimes it's the pride you feel standing on the other side of struggles they never thought you would survive. Sometimes it's looking in the mirror and recognizing yourself again, whole, strong, unbroken. And yes, there will be moments when they see you, moments when the people who hurt you catch glimpses of the life you built from the ruins they left behind. Moments when they realize that nothing they did could stop you. But by then, it won't even matter to you whether they see or not, because your success was never about them. It was always about you stepping fully into your own power. It was always about you choosing to live, to rise, to thrive. So let them underestimate you, let them doubt you, let them walk away, let them say whatever they need to say to make themselves comfortable. None of it changes your truth. None of it diminishes your potential. None of it has the power to define your future unless you give it permission. The best response is not anger. It is not revenge. It is becoming everything they said you could not be, and even more than you ever imagined for yourself. It is standing tall, it is smiling wide, it is living freely. It is being so focused on your own growth, your own joy, your own journey, that their shadows can't even touch your light. The best response is success, quiet, steady, undeniable, and it's yours for the taking. When people wrong you, the first instinct is often to retaliate, to show them the pain they caused, to make them understand the depth of the hurt they inflicted. It feels natural to want to strike back, to want them to feel even a fraction of what they made you. But retaliation, no matter how justified it seems in the heat of the moment, keeps you tied to their actions, trapped in the very energy you want to escape. The real victory, the real power, is not found in retaliation. It is found in transformation. Transformation means you take everything that was meant to break you and use it to build something stronger inside yourself. It means you refuse to become a mirror of their cruelty. You refuse to be reduced to the same smallness that hurt you. You rise above it, not because they deserve your mercy, but because you deserve your freedom. Retaliation is a reaction. Transformation is a creation. Retaliation keeps you focused on them, still giving them your energy, still allowing them to dictate your next move. But transformation shifts the focus back to you, your healing, your growth, your future. It is a declaration that your life is too precious, too vast, too meaningful to waste on bitterness. When you choose transformation, you begin to see the pain not as an ending, but as a beginning. It becomes raw material for your evolution. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the humiliation, it all becomes fuel for your becoming. You start to understand that every wound is an opening, every loss is a clearing, every moment of devastation is also an invitation to rebuild, to reimagine, to recreate yourself on stronger foundations. And you realize that the most profound form of revenge is not in hurting them back, it's in becoming someone so whole, so vibrant, so deeply at peace that nothing they did can touch you anymore. Transformation is slow, it is often painful, and this asks you to sit with your grief, to feel every ounce of your anger without letting it consume you. It asks you to process the rage, not suppress it, but to refuse to let it drive your actions. It asks you to find the courage to heal, to forgive yourself for the times you stayed too long, for the times you tolerated too much, for the times you betrayed your own heart in the name of loyalty. Transformation is tender work. It is not loud and flashy. It is the quiet rebuilding of your inner world. It is the moments when you choose peace over revenge, hope over despair, love over fear. There will be times when you will want to fight back, when the temptation to hurt them the way they hurt you will feel almost unbearable. But in those moments, remember that you are not like them. Remember that your spirit was not built for hatred. Remember that your destiny is too great to be distracted by small battles. You are not here to stay wounded. You are here to transcend. Choosing transformation over retaliation does not mean you condone what happened. It does not mean you forget or pretend. It means you honor your pain by letting it shape you into someone wiser, someone kinder, someone more powerful than you ever were before. It means you step into your future unburdened by the chains of revenge. It means you move forward with grace, dignity, and a fierce kind of love for yourself that nothing and no one can take away. And in the end, as you continue to rise, you will realize that the people who hurt you were merely catalysts. They were not the authors of your story. They were not the architects of your identity. They were simply lessons, painful, yes, but necessary for you to become the person you were always meant to be. You are not here to retaliate. You are here to transform. And that is the most beautiful victory of all. In this life, your most valuable resource is not money, not time, not even opportunity. It's your energy. Your energy is the currency that fuels everything you create, everything you build, everything you dream into existence. Every conversation you engage in, every thought you entertain, every emotion you allow to linger, all of it either deposits into your future or drains you dry. And yet, so often we spend our energy recklessly. We spend it on anger toward people who don't deserve a second more of our thought. We spend it on worrying about situations already behind us. We spend it defending ourselves to those determined to misunderstand us. We give away our power in small, almost invisible ways until one day we wake up exhausted, discouraged, and disconnected from the life we want to live. Learning to protect your energy is not selfish. It is survival. It is self-respect. You do not owe everyone your attention. You do not owe everyone your explanation. Some people will never understand you because they are not meant to. Some battles are not meant to be fought because they cost too much. Every moment you spend defending yourself to someone committed to doubting you is energy stolen from building your dreams. Every hour you waste replaying the betrayals, the insults, the unfairness is time stolen from your healing, your joy, your growth. When you realize that your energy is your currency, you start to spend it wisely. You start to say no without guilt. You start to walk away without regret. You start to prioritize peace over proving points. You learn that not every action requires your reaction. Not every insult requires your attention. You learn that silence can be a shield, that walking away can be an act of power. You start investing your energy into the things that feed your soul, into the people who nourish your spirit, into the dreams that set your heart on fire. The truth is, the people who tried to hurt you, to drain you, to leave you empty, they don't deserve your energy anymore. Not even in anger, especially not in anger. The best thing you can do is pour every drop of that precious energy back into yourself, into your healing, into your future, into the life you are still creating despite it all, into the joy they never thought you would find again. Your energy is sacred, and it's the light you bring into this world. It is the force behind your resilience, your creativity, your love, your purpose. Protect it as you would protect something rare and priceless, because that's exactly what it is. And when you learn to master where your energy goes, you master your whole life. You move with intention, you live with clarity, you rise with power. Spend your energy like the treasure it is. Spend it on building, on healing, on dreaming bigger than the smallness that tried to break you. Spend it on your peace, on your passion, on your beautiful, unstoppable future. And let everything that does not honor your energy fall away quietly without a fight. Because you have better things to do. There comes a moment when you have to decide that your story will not be written by the pain you've endured, as heavy as the heartbreak has been, as deep as the betrayal has cut, as real as the loss has felt. It is not the whole of you. It is not the title of your life. It is not the final word. Pain may have been a chapter, a season, a shadow that passed through, but it is not the definition of who you are, and it never has to be. You are not the wound, you are the healing. You are not the betrayal, you are the trust that dared to love again. You are not the abandonment, you are the arms that learned how to hold yourself when no one else would. You are the courage it takes to stand up after falling, to believe again after being broken, to hope again after being disappointed. That is who you are. That is the real story. Too often, we let our pain become the lens through which we see the rest of our lives. We define ourselves by what was done to us instead of what we survived, what we learned, what we overcame. But you are not just a survivor. You are not just someone who made it through the fire. You are someone who chose to grow from it, to rise from it, to become something more because of it. And that choice, that quiet, daily choice, is what shapes your future. The world will sometimes try to keep you tied to your wounds. It will point to your scars as proof of your limitations. It will whisper that because you were hurt, you must stay small, you must stay cautious, you must stay guarded. But the truth is, your scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs of strength. They are the evidence that even in your most fragile moments, you refuse to be broken beyond repair. They are reminders that even when you were bleeding, you were still moving forward. Your story is bigger than your pain. Your story is the laughter that found its way back into your mouth. It's the dreams you dared to dream again when hope felt like a stranger. It's the friendships you opened your heart to even when trust felt impossible. It's the mornings you got out of bed when grief tried to anchor you down. Every small act of living, every small act of hope, every small act of kindness toward yourself. These are the true threads that weave your story together. You get to choose what defines you. You get to choose which moments you give power to. You get to choose the voice you listen to, the one that speaks fear and pain, or the one that speaks courage and possibility. The past is real, the pain was real, but so is your ability to transform it. So is your right to move beyond it. So is your power to write a story that does not end in sorrow, but in triumph, in peace, in love. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become despite it. Your story isn't written by the pain. It's written by the strength it took to heal. It's written by the dreams you refuse to let die. It's written by the life you are still daring to create, one beautiful, unbreakable day at a time. There comes a point when you realize that forgiveness is not about the other person. It's not about letting them off the hook. It's not about forgetting what they did. It's not even about restoring the relationship. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. It is about laying down the burden that was never meant for you to carry for the rest of your life. It is about releasing yourself from the grip of anger, bitterness, and resentment so that you can finally breathe again, live again, love again. Holding on to anger feels powerful at first. It feels like a shield. It feels like a way of maintaining control after something has been taken from you. But over time, that anger hardens into a cage. It locks you in. It keeps you chained to the pain long after the moment of hurt has passed. It makes you relive the injury over and over, sometimes long after the person who caused it has forgotten, moved on, or remained unchanged. And the longer you carry it, the heavier it becomes until one day you realize you are not protecting yourself at all. You are imprisoning yourself. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door. It does not mean you condone what happened. It does not mean you pretend it didn't hurt. It means you love yourself too much to let that hurt rule your life anymore. It means you choose your peace over your pride. It means you choose your healing over your hatred. It means you make a conscious decision to stop giving the person who hurt you free rent in your mind and heart. Forgiveness is a process. Sometimes you have to choose it over and over again, day after day, minute after minute. Some wounds are deep and complicated, and it takes time to untangle yourself from the pain. It is not a sign of weakness to struggle with forgiveness. It is a sign of your humanity. What matters is that you keep reaching for it, not for them, but for you. Because you deserve to be free. You deserve to have your heart unburdened. You deserve to create a life that is not shaped by old wounds, but by new dreams. There is a beautiful kind of strength that comes when you can say, you no longer have power over me. That is what forgiveness does. It takes your power back. It severs the invisible thread that keeps you tied to the past. It creates space in your soul for new joys, new hopes, new beginnings. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it transforms your relationship with it. It no longer controls you. It no longer defines you. You are not weak for forgiving. You are powerful beyond words. It takes courage to let go. It takes strength to release what you could so easily continue to carry.